open up to page 31. Everybody turn to page 31. Okay, so we are going to be working on Unit 3 on pronouns, okay? There are 11 lessons in this unit, so we will break it up in half. So we'll do probably down to 3.6 and then do a test, okay? And then we'll do 3.7 and 3.11 and do a test after that, all right? So let's turn to page 32 then. And our first lesson for pronouns is person, number, and gender of pronouns. And the biggest thing is kind of getting those words down. What does person mean when they're asking for what person it is? What does number mean? What does gender mean? What are they asking for? Okay? So, first of all, what is a pronoun? What is a pronoun, Ariam?
A word that's used in place of a noun.
Yep, a word that's used in place of a noun. So when I'm writing or I'm speaking, if I'm speaking about a person, like if I'm speaking, if I'm talking about Braden, and I'm saying Braden plays hockey, Braden goes to St. Joseph's School, Braden has 2 sisters. You know, if I'm doing that, instead of saying Braden all the time, I put a pronoun in there and I use he, okay? So, to replace saying that all the time. Same thing if I'm talking about St. Joseph's School, so it doesn't have to be a person, right? If I'm talking about St. Joseph's School, and I say, instead of, saying St. Joseph's School is in Rosemount, St. Joseph's School has 200 students, St. Joseph's School requires uniforms. Instead, I use it, okay, instead of St. Joseph's School. Okay, so that is what pronouns are. They replace nouns so that you're not being so repetitive all the time. So personal pronouns are one kind of pronoun. So today we're talking about personal pronouns. So it's kind of like when you're learning another language, and for you guys when you're learning Spanish, and and you're conjugating verbs, okay? Because in Spanish, I guess in English as well sometimes, you have different forms of verbs, and you do in English too, based on what person, and person number, based on the person number and gender of the word you're using, right? Because if you're saying, let's see, the verb to eat is comer, right? Is that right? Mm-hmm. So if I'm saying I'm eating, right, I use como, right? If I'm saying that she is eating, I would use come, is that right?
Yeah, come.
And if I'm saying like you are eating, I would say like comes, I believe. Okay? Okay, so it's kind of like that. If you think of that chart you use when you're conjugating verbs for Spanish, basically we kind of have the same, it's similar for English. Okay? So you have 2 sides. And along here, we write down the person. This is the person side of the chart. So when we're talking about person, what are we looking for? What would we be referring to when we're talking about person?
First, second, third.
Yeah. So first person, so in here goes first person. Second person and third person. Okay? So if they're saying, if it asks you, what is the person of that pronoun, your answer would be either first person, second person, or third person. Okay? So these columns, do you know what they stand for?
Singular, plural.
Yeah, and we call that the number. So the number is going across, and you have singular and plural. Okay? So, if a question is saying, what is the number of the pronoun? Your answer is going to be either singular or plural. Okay? So when it's asking for person, it's referring to first person, second person, third person. When it's asking for number, it's either singular or plural. Okay? And then finally, only in third person singular is where we also have gender. Actually, why don't I put it kind of over here? It's only in third person singular. So that would be the only place gender would apply. Okay? And then gender is either masculine, feminine, or neuter. Okay? So now, let's go ahead and fill in our chart. Okay, well, all right, so first person singular pronoun would be what? What would be the first person singular? So first person stands for you're talking about yourself, right? So first person singular, if I'm going to talk about myself, would be what? Me. No, it would be, oh, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. I or me. Okay? Later on, we're going to get into subject pronouns and object pronouns. I is a subject pronoun. Me is an object pronoun. You use them in different situations. You use I as a subject, you use me as an object. So, I go to the store. That's a subject. Let's see. She gave me a pencil. That now me is an object, okay? Okay, second person singular. What is the pronoun?
You.
You. Okay? Third person singular, what would be pronouns that I would use? I've used two of them.
He, she, it.
Okay? He, she, and it. And if we want to go objects,
Her,
him, her, and it still. You is an object too. Okay, first person plural. What would I use for first person plural?
us.
That would be an object, would be us,
We.
and we would be a subject. Like right now, you don't have to get into that. Second person plural,
You.
you. Third person plural.
They, them.
Yep. They is a subject and them is an object. Okay? Those are your personal pronouns, and person first person, second person, third person, number, singular or plural, gender, only in third person singular, masculine, feminine, or neuter. Okay? You might want to copy this chart into your notes, or it's in your book right here as well. Okay? Okay, so page 32, and I'm going to bring this over so that people, you guys can see this too if you want to go, if you ever need to go back and look, right? You can always look at the video in class too.
So it is kind of like a building, or like a building, or like
Yep. Yep.
something
A thing,
to explain
right?
some
A
kind of-
desk, a book, a building, a pen, utensil, all right? A thing. Okay, so page 32 basically says this. Nathan, can you read that first little paragraph underneath the chart?
Personal pronouns change depending on a person, whether they refer to one who is speaking, is spoken to, or is spoken of.
Okay, Lily, can you read the next one?
Personal pronouns also may have different forms depending on number, whether they refer to one person or thing, or to more than one person or thing.
Okay, so, basically, person speaking would be first person, right? Speaking of someone would be third person. Speaking to someone would be second person, right? And then singular, only one, more than one is plural. So person, first person, second person, third person, number, singular or plural. All right, Jameson, can you read the next one?
Wait, this one?
Yep, the third paragraph, third person.
Third person singular. Just read the sentences or just.
The whole little paragraph there.
Oh. Third person singular pronouns also change depending on the gender, feminine, masculine, or neuter, of the antecedent. The word the pronoun refers to.
So they're telling you what an antecedent is. It's the word the pronoun refers to. So again, if I go back to the example where I said Braden is in 8th grade, he goes to St. Joseph's School, the antecedent is the word that the pronoun is referring to. So he is referring to what? Braden. So Braden is the antecedent to he in that example. Okay? Okay? Ella, can you read the next one?
Which one is that one?
Where we left off.
Oh,
So can you identify?
yeah. Can you identify the type, person, number, and gender of the pronouns in the sentence?
Okay? I am taking computer science as an elective. What is the person, number, and if applicable, gender of I?
Me.
Leah?
I is first person and it's singular.
Yep. First person, singular. So the person is first person, the number is singular, and it does not have a gender because it doesn't apply in that situation. Okay? Frank hasn't decided on an elective yet, but he is thinking of taking band. He, what is the person, number, and gender of the pronoun he? Ariam?
Third person singular.
Third person, singular, and does it have a gender?
Yeah, masculine.
Masculine. Okay, it does because it's third person singular. Okay, any questions
No.
about any of that? Okay. Like I said, the very bottom sentence says pronouns allow writers to avoid the constant repetition of nouns and make their writing sound more interesting. Okay, so let's turn to page 33. And exercise 1 says identify the pronouns in each sentence. For each pronoun, tell the person, number, and if appropriate, gender. So just what we were doing. So number 1, Kaylin, can you do number 1?
Recently, I discovered short stories by Jack London. Person, singular.
Very good. And gender doesn't apply because only in third person singular do we do gender. Okay, Marisol, number 2.
People know him from the novels he wrote about Alaska. Him and he. Him is third person singular. And he is also third person singular.
And does it have gender?
Yeah, masculine.
Masculine. Yep. Okay, number 3. Bethel.
One of the stories to build a fire is the first story that I will recommend to you. I is first person singular and you is second person singular.
It can be singular or plural, right? And in that example, we're unsure. So singular or plural. Okay? Because it doesn't have an antecedent in front of us for us to know. All right, number 4, Brayden.
It is about a man traveling through Alaska. It is third person singular and it's neuter.
Yep, very good. Number 5, Ariam.
He does not understand what Chloe can do. He is masculine, third person singular.
Yep, and then we're gonna go, how many people do we have left? Oh, let's do number 7, or number 6, Sam.
He hikes through the snow with a dog. He is third person singular. It is a masculine.
Yep, number 7, Leah.
As they travel through the terrible cold, the dog begins to mistrust the man, they, and third person plural.
Yep, and then we're gonna go on to exercise 2. Complete each sentence with a pronoun. Use the directions in parentheses, so you have to put that type of pronoun. So number 1, Tommy.
This year, we will have a chance to choose some classes ourselves.
Yep, so he did a first person, plural, we. Okay, number 2, Logan.
Our teacher created the courses and they call these electives.
Yep, they. Number 3, Maggie.
I am trying to decide between art and keyboarding.
Yep, I. Sierra 4.
My mom wants me to take keyboarding, so I'll probably take it.
Yep, it. And number 5, Luke.
What will second person singular? What will it? What will you?
What will
There's
you?
nothing else
Yeah.
in second person.
Second person and singular.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have
Okay.
a brain.
Nope, guys,
You don't
quiet.
even need a brain.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Anybody have any questions? All right, so your homework is to do practice book, I believe, 23. Can I look at yours, Lily?
It's
Uh,
either 23 or 24.
I know it's 23 or 24, and I'm gonna just take a peek at them.
Yes, 23.
Oh, wait, no, there's 2.
Yeah, I'll have you do 23. And so, you guys, try to make, like, number 11 should correspond with number 1. Number 12 should correspond with number 2. Write the pronouns that you find in number 1. Write the pronoun there. Okay? And then it's person, number, and gender. Okay? And you have about 6 minutes to work on that. And remember, you have to have a novel when you come to class on Tuesday, and next Tuesday. And your spelling is due on Friday. So you.
Tuesday today?
Yeah.
Yep, it is. But next, I'm giving you a
Yeah,
week,
no, I'm
and we
just
do
kidding.
not have school on Monday. Oh, I didn't change that. Okay.
Monday,